So I'm still out here. Here, let me turn my camera around. Still out here in California. Of course, I still don't have anywhere to stay. I just moved around because all the nonsense that kept going on while I was in Vegas. So I've been here. I think tomorrow will make a week. And last night, I happened to lean back in my car and here they come to repo my car. Um, yeah. Of course, my feelings was hurt about that. I'm $18,000 into a $23,000 car note. $5,000 left on this car. And they've got it to the point where I can't even pay for it. Like, I can't pay for anything. And so, luckily, he let it down for me to just drive off in it. I don't know, at this point, I'm just going to drive as far as I can. And wherever I get stuck, that's where I'll be, I guess. This is crazy. I really don't even know what else to say because I've said stuff over and over and over again. Still surrounded by the same people. Florida, that's who you just seen passing by. Texas. Police officers looking. Still surrounded by the same people. Was gonna look for a job. I mean, I've already filled out a few applications. You know, it's funny. It's funny, you don't even get a call back. It says you're gonna get a call back within 3 days, but you don't even get a call back from it's like the lowest position jobs that you can have, like McDonald's. I don't think I ever filled out an application at McDonald's before. And if I did, it was when I was a teenager. But you know, you get in a new place and you try to do just whatever you have to do to pull in some type of income. And it's sad because I haven't even got a call back from them. Got an interview the other day and I thought it was a good thing only to find out that it's selling insurance. It's all based off commission and you don't get paid for training or anything. And so like it doesn't even make sense because I don't have the resources to just work for nothing until I can figure it out. And with this, the way they do magic, the way they're doing black magic, throwing it left and right, who's to say that I would even be able to make anything? Seems like the more I talk about this stuff, the more nonsense they do in the background. And I don't even bother to reach out to family because they already pretty much just did what they did. They already kind of left me alone. When my mother died, of course, people, they tried to call then, but that's only because she passed and I didn't worry about answering. But, they are who they are. And got the little sister, seemed like she trying to take over my position or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in her brain, but I realize why she be so quiet all of a sudden. Why she says she stay low key now all of a sudden, because I would too, because like the way you move, somebody gonna knock your head off, because I almost feel like she trying to step in my shoes or something. Yeah, I know my other mother. Before it's so funny, right? Right when I got fired, my sister brought over this blanket that my mother had bought for a Christmas present. And why would she opt to buy me a blanket out of everything? I really felt like she was trying to be funny because the timing of it, you can absolutely tell they knew what they were doing. She waited until not only I lost my job, but she waited until like the day before I was actually moving out to bring me the blanket, and she had held it. I got fired in January. She had that blanket since December, and it was like perfect timing the way she brought it over to me. And so I already, it's, I deal with the little subtle hints all the time, the subliminal messages all the time, cyberbullying all the time. And so I'm able to recognize real easy bullshit when I see it. And so I already knew what it was that they were both trying to do. It seems like everybody knows what's going on. Again, nobody's saying anything. You would think they would say something, but nobody says anything. Matter of fact, I told y'all how they went out the way and just kind of stopped talking to me all together and all grouped up with each other to support each other. And so at that point, I feel like I don't even really have a family to call because they made their point already. And so just because they call after my biological mother died, that doesn't mean anything. That means nothing at all. That's about like that blanket that they sent to me just to make a point. And so I didn't even bother to answer because I'm not trying to play any games with y'all. I really want to, I really have some choice words, but to keep from going there, I just don't deal with them. And I don't plan on it anymore at this point, to be honest with you. And so I'm not calling them. I just got to figure out where I have to go from here. So I won't call any of my other family either. The other side, on my biological mother's side, they be struggling for the most part of it anyway. One of my little sisters, pretty much, she hadn't really got it together yet. Neither one of them really. One of them always taking donations for everything she got to do. At the brothers that I never dealt with anyway, one of them, it makes no sense. Don't even make sense to ask because all his extra money goes towards gambling. Yeah, I'm still here. They just drive by and look. The police. All his extra money goes towards gambling. And the one that I know would have it is like his money done went to his head or something. I don't know what kind of attitude he had, but when everything first started happening, me not want to be a burden on everybody. I like to deal with stuff on my own. And so I just kind of disconnected from people to kind of try to take some time for myself to figure it out. And man, he had like he lost his mind. He kept calling and calling and calling. Then he had like he got offended. Although I told him, everything, I answered at one point and told him everything was cool. I wasn't acting funny or anything. I got a lot going on. When it's over with, I'll call y'all. But he don't understand English, evidently. I don't know, he had like he was offended by the whole thing, and it just kind of irritate me because how you get offended because I decide to kind of handle stuff on my own because I'm going through stuff, but because I separate, because I need my space. Like, you don't understand what personal space is. You don't understand what somebody needing time is. So, yeah, he just, it's like the longer that went by, the more he tried. He called again. Don't be wanting anything. It's like he called and it'd be these weird conversations about what he's doing to his house. And like, I'm going through a whole lot of stuff. I don't want to hear that right now. I don't really want to hear shit right now. At that time, I wasn't going through as much as I am right now, but it's like I'm just trying to get myself together. I don't want to sit up and have these petty conversations with you. And every conversation be the same thing anyway, about what you doing to your house, how much money you spend on something. It's like his money just went to his head, and it can't be that much of it. I mean, I don't know. He probably make, I don't know. I'm not gonna say what he make, but still, yeah. So he just didn't want to leave me alone. And that was before my mother died, and it was like I was just trying to get my stuff together. And when I stopped answering for him, even after I told him, even when I answered and said what I said, and I'll call you soon, it still didn't matter. He started getting my mother to call, and that was before she passed. So she would call and say these little smart things, referring to them and him particularly. And it just didn't make sense to me. And so it's like he just don't understand English. It's like I decided to take some time, some space for myself. And he pretty much was telling me, F your space, is what I felt like. And so I just disconnected from them altogether. And at this point, I haven't came out of what I was trying to come out of anyway. It's only gotten worse and worse and worse. I feel like they be throwing magic at me every chance they get. And especially, like I said, especially when I talk about it. The more I talk about it, the more stuff they do to try to make me shut up. But here's the thing, I'm not gonna shut up. And I guess the repo man coming to get my car last night, I guess they say I was gonna shut up eventually. Because ain't no way I can charge my phones. It's nothing here. It's like once I left from Vegas, I thought I was gonna make it better, but what happened is I got here, and although I don't constantly have those same people walking by gawking at me and saying weird things and cursing me out and just all of that extra energy for nothing, but the people who, the energy vampires who constantly suck from your energy. And I wake up, I'm only up for an hour, and then my whole energy is drained. Feel like going back to sleep again. So although I don't have to deal with that as much, it's like really inconvenient. I have no place to charge my phones, no place to charge my laptops. It's pretty much the same thing with the restrooms. I have already been pretty much cursed out by somebody. I was just literally sitting in my car, but evidently he didn't want me sitting right there in front of whatever that was I was sitting in front of. Although it's parking spots that line the whole street in front, evidently he didn't want me sitting right there in front of his building in that parking spot. When I leave from where I am able to park and I am able to find some Wi-Fi to use, then I have to drive, seem like a couple of miles in order to get to where I'm going to grab something to eat, or either to use the restroom. And so it's constantly driving back and forth, to the point where I don't have any gas. I had like a quarter tank of gas left. Then they had the nerve to try to repo it last night. And so I let them take it. I got all this stuff in my car. That means they're taking all my clothes, because it's really all I have, all my clothes that's left. Everything else I pretty much given away. I have clothes and shoes that's left. And so had I let them take it, that means they taking all of my stuff with them. And that leave me with this little bag. Luckily he let it down. Was looking at a flight. I don't have enough points to catch a flight from here. I don't have enough gas to drive off from here. It's just all inconvenient. So I'm just gonna drive as much as I can. And I'll just end up wherever I end up. Of course, the watching, the stalking is still going on. And now I'm just sitting here at this Chick-fil-A. Just sitting up going through my phone, just going through my mind, trying to figure out who do I have that I can call for some help. And it doesn't make sense to call the people that you know are already, who know what's going on with you. It's like, why would I call y'all and ask for help if you know what's going on and you haven't volunteered to help me? That must mean you don't want to. And so I'm not going to call them and ask them. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out who I have I can call and ask for some help. At this point, I've been like 3 months without paying my car note, paying for hotels and everything, moving around, thinking they was going to give me my money back. You know, again, I feel like this was all a setup. It was all a setup. Everything has been a setup. They've been doing this the whole time. And because they have these people working with them, these so-called elite people, these people with these high positions in police departments and lawyers, and very easy for them to get away with what it is they're doing. And I've literally reached out to everybody. Everybody. And I don't know if they haven't responded back to me or if I'm just not receiving the emails, because I felt like my email was hacked, only to realize yesterday that it really is hacked. You know, you have an idea, but you really don't have proof. Just so happened yesterday when I was leaving out of McDonald's, they sent something to my phone about getting something like a 50-cent double cheeseburger or something like that, but I had just finished eating. And so I sat out in a parking lot for a while, thinking, well, instead of leaving and driving back over here, I'll just sit out here for a while and just try to let this kind of digest, and then I'll go in and I'll get that double cheeseburger and maybe I'll have that for dinner. Only to look back at my phone and it was gone out of my email. And so that was proof to me that my email is hacked and they are deleting my messages. because that's one that I actually opened. And I clicked the link in it, and it took me to the app, and it showed me what it was giving me. And I just left it there. But when I went back to look at it, it wasn't there. Like maybe I accidentally deleted it. No, it wasn't in the trash file. It wasn't in my spam. Like it's not in anything. It's just gone. And so that was proof to me that my email has been hacked, like I thought anyway. And so there's no telling if any of the lawyers have responded back to me, if the news station has responded back to me, because they're deleting my emails. You know, this has gotten crazy. And it's like, who do you go to for help? Who do you go to when it's this far? So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. Of course, the cyberbullying haven't stopped. Every now and then I click on a page and I'm scrolling, and it's excessive constantly, from people who don't have a face. They just randomly send stuff, but you know it's for you. And they try to do it like through all the people who you don't even know. So you're just scrolling and you seeing stuff that you know is directly directed towards you. And it's for even people that you follow. They act like sleeper cells on the internet. It's like they quiet, but they say little things every now and then to hint to you that they know what's going on. And so yeah, I've deleted a few people off my page because of that. Because of the hint throwing stuff. And I don't want to play them games like that. Like if you know what's going on and you're not doing anything to try to help. No, I haven't even reached out to my family for that reason. So what make you think I want to still deal with y'all and allow y'all to be on my page when y'all send back just kind of enjoying the show? And one of these people, a few of these people on here, y'all know. I mean, I told y'all the thing. These so-called celebrity and celebrity chefs, like everything has to do with the celebrities. They pretty much is garbage. Like the ones that I be seeing, it's like garbage. They know everything what's going on with you, everything, and they'll throw hints all day long. When you said something to piss somebody off, they throw stuff at you all day long. Now, mind you, I don't talk to anybody, and so I'm constantly being monitored with my thoughts, things I say. They act like they can hear everything. I was thinking to myself earlier, it's like they so woke, but they're not really spiritually awakened. They're woke because they get to hear everything. They know everything that you be thinking. According to the book that I read, this alchemy book that I was reading, that's just a reverse kind of alchemy that you can do. Like that has nothing to do with being woke. It has everything to do with giving up one sense for the other one. And so while they walking around acting so heartless, it's probably because they are. Because they've opted to be able to hear people what they're thinking instead. And so you have them going around and they play these little mind games with you. It's like if you know, you know. If you don't know, it's going to sound like real crazy. And so it's fine. Like you'll learn sooner or later. And so they play these little mind games with you. Like it's all fun and games. And I don't find nothing funny about this. I've lost everything. There's nothing funny about this. I have literally lost everything. Everything that I worked hard for. Nobody gave me these things. Nobody paid for these things for me. It's everything that I worked hard for. My businesses went down the drain. My job is gone. They came in, they sent Steven right on in to do his dirty work. Wrongfully fired after they called themselves retaliating. And so I feel like I have this lawsuit with them that I still haven't been able to talk to anyone about. And it's what, 6 months later? I've been out here still struggling, trying to figure it out, trying to pull it together, and it's not coming together. You put in applications, you can't find a job anywhere. It's clear they have you blacklisted. You have to ask yourself, who has the power to do stuff like that? These are these elite people. These secret societies. Could even be some of my own family, because I know what kind of stuff they do behind closed doors. And so it seems like it's a combination of everybody. Of everybody. And the ones who are not doing it themselves, they just sit back and watch like it's some type of movie or something. Let you know how heartless people are out here. To sit up and especially watch a woman go through everything that I've went through. And don't try to lend a hand. But every time you get angry and say something smart, they're always right there to throw hints and to try to retaliate with the cyberbullying. But they're never right there to actually throw a hand to help. It's like they either gonna make it worse or they ain't gonna do shit at all. Those the type of so-called celebrities and the celebrity chefs. That's the those type of energies. It's like if you can throw some ass back at them, then you realize they still there. They all of a sudden here. Then they all of a sudden, when I say here, I mean listening. They can all of a sudden hear. Then they all of a sudden throwing hints to show you that they're there, but nobody's doing anything to help. It's like they'll sit back and continue their life, continue feed until these, what I call these bottom feeders, they be breeding with, seem like. They'll continue to feed until then and pretend just like they don't see you. And it's so funny because it's like at one point I felt like I was all that they were seeing, just based off what I seen and how it was so easy for certain people to respond to certain things. The ones that they pouring into, those are the ones trying to be like me. The ones who get all the attention, they were trying to be like me. Dressing like me, talking like me, trying to act like me. Even some of the celebrities themselves dressing like me, talking like me, trying to act like me. But that's when you have something. That's when I was established. Since everything has been torn down, they act like they don't see you until they're throwing hints to try to tear you down. Then you have to ask yourself, what kind of people are you dealing with? You know, it's when you realize that these people aren't really there for you. These not really your friends like you thought they were when you were hanging out, when you had money in your pocket, in your bank account, when everything was moving smoothly. Now they're going to pretend like they don't see you and they don't know you again until you say something smart. And then what you get is a bunch of backlash, a bunch of cyberbullying, a bunch of hint throwing, subliminal messages. Is it hurtful? Yes. But do I have to keep going? Yes. Ain't no need of crying about it. Not even when you want to. Because it's clear that they don't have a heart. It's clear that a lot of people don't give a damn until the shoe is on their foot. I realize that some people sit back and they probably scared to say something because they don't want to go through this themselves. And so it's one thing to not say anything, and it's a whole nother thing to just watch somebody go through what I have, to just watch everything be torn down like it has been for me without even offering, to help. You realize how trash people are. And why a lot of people say it's just the evil people who get up to the top like that. It's like you gotta sacrifice something, huh? And the damn show ain't their egos that they sacrificing, because they still have those. What they lacking is heart. And not just the heart to have empathy for somebody, to be able to put themselves in somebody else's shoes, but the courage. They lack that. You do a lot of things behind the scenes. So yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of sitting here just trying to figure out who I can call. And man, there's some people. This is crazy, though. The one person I can think of is one of the last people I would want to even call. But I feel like I have no choice at this point. Feels like I have no choice at this point. Just to see if I can kind of get some gas, just to keep moving. just to keep moving. And I was thinking about where it is that I could go next, and it just doesn't make any sense to keep trying these new places and being shut down like I am, because this has been ongoing. I mean, I left Georgia because I thought it would be better, and it's actually gotten worse. At least I had a few $1,000s in my pocket and my credit cards when I left Georgia. They made sure I didn't have anything when I left Vegas. When I tell you, they held my car the entire time until I had nothing left, and then all of a sudden, ding, now you can come and get your car. And I didn't even have gas to come and get the car. I was absolutely on purpose. They drained my pockets and made sure I was stuck there while people walked by and drained my energy. Every time I walked into a casino, you could feel them draining my energy. Well, them Asians were on it. They were on it. Then they get tired of you. They get tired of you. And then they send somebody who looked like you out to try to get rid of you. Like the whole time they walking by draining your energy. At the Caucasian man working in the casino, the white man in there trying to be smart, because he realized, I'm trying to stay away from him because I already seen it in him too. Like he was gonna do the same thing, so I try to stay away from him. He try to be smart, and so what they do, they've done it before with the security. They'll send somebody out look like me, brown person, just like me, to come and screw over me. And so I guess when they get tired of draining your energy, and that's when the brown guy came out and he put you out for nothing. Although you were invited in, he put you out for nothing. But it just reminds me of the other security. Now, most of the security looks like me, brown people. And so all of the different casinos that I've been in where I've had problems with security, it's all people who look like me. It's so funny. Most of them. Most of them look like me. Maybe one or two of them did. Out of 20. And so they make sure they send one of us in to kind of seal the deal. So you can't say anything about racism, because it's your own kind doing it to you. Which I can't really, it don't hurt my feelings any more than my own family doing it to me. Like my own family pretending to not know what's going on, but throwing subliminal messages just the same. Own family trying to step in and take your place. When you scroll on the internet and you watching them do stuff all of a sudden that they were never able to do when you were out there doing it. And it's so funny. Like the whole time I was moving around, asking them to travel different places with me, nobody could afford to do anything. And they wasn't doing anything. A lot of my family did not even fly. They didn't fly anywhere. All of a sudden, when my stuff gets torn down and I'm struggling out here, now all of a sudden they're flying here, there, and everywhere, and they're celebrating their birthdays in places. You think I was ever invited? No. It's like, how y'all up when I'm down? How y'all all of a sudden doing things that not only you couldn't afford before, but you never even done if you could afford it? So I've inspired them enough to watch my stuff get torn down while they come and they try to act like they've been about this life the whole time when I know the truth. And so it has me questioning, like, are y'all a part of this too? Are y'all the reason for this? Like, where are all these connections coming from? Because this is a lot of people who's involved with this. For nobody to know nothing, it's a lot of people involved in this. And you think it'll be at least one person in there that'll come up to you and say something, but no one has said anything. Nobody. They're just being smart and trying to prepare you for what it is that you're going through. Like with the blanket. A blanket for Christmas. Nobody else got a blanket, just me and my daughter. And then again, the timing in which it was brought to me said everything. It said everything. Like they knew exactly what was going on. These people get readings and they know your life before you do. And they try to sabotage that. And so I know all of this isn't done just because, like, what? Are y'all doing it to steal money from me? Or are you just doing it to steal my life, my legacy, what it is that I was building for myself? Is this just a sacrifice? Do you think you're just gonna step into my shoes? Because that's what it looked like with my little sister. Like that's exactly what she's trying to do. Everything that I thought about, everything that I was doing, now she all of a sudden is doing. How you go from nails to being so spiritual and doing all of this other stuff. You done went from nails to yoga to coochie creams to vegan food. Now you all of a sudden aspiring to open up this restaurant and be just like the person who created Slutty Vegan. I don't know, y'all. It's like everything that I thought again, everything that I was working on for myself got brought to a halt, a screeching halt, all at one time got torn down. And then you look at her and specifically, and it's like she trying to build up off of it. How are you in Mobile, but you concerned about doing stuff in Georgia all of a sudden? And then you watch the stuff that they post. It's like they won't post it on Instagram, but they'll go to Facebook with the clout chasing. Now they trying to be involved with the celebrities and now they tagging people and trying to do stuff. They was never into that stuff. They weren't they weren't even on that level. They hadn't made it there yet. It's like I'm the one was putting in all the work and then all my stuff gets torn down and now all of a sudden y'all tagging celebrities and all of a sudden you got this new venture that you started doing. It's like you about to finish off what I started or something. That shit ain't gonna work. It may be working right now for you as much as it's gonna work, but when God get finished, it's not gonna work. Because you have to live your own destiny. You got to find your own purpose. And you ain't gonna find your purpose just trying to figure out what's gonna bring you money and clout. She done left behind what it is that she loved to do stuff I was doing, to do stuff that I was working on doing. If I hadn't started doing it yet, I was in the process of doing it. It's a lot of things I was working on at the time. And everything has gotten torn down, including my books. And I'm just waiting to see what fool is going to pop up and lie and say they wrote my books. Because I already know. I have a very strong feeling, very strong feeling. They here for me, y'all. No question. No question about it. And my phone is ringing. I'll be back.